Okay, so on to the next track / performance in Nur's Harmony of Heart. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly, man. Nur, it seems simple enough. N-I-R, Nur. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, let me know down in the comment section. Anyway, moving on to the next Dave track. This is Dave Black. I think I reacted to this once before. I would understand why you actually sent this to me, because you didn't see it on YouTube. But I did react to it once before. I had a couple of thoughts that I did obviously say on my reaction, and well, they just weren't taken well at the end of the day, because we live in a world where we just live in the extremes now. So we live on this side or that side. It's either black or it's white, and that's just the way it is. There's no nuance. Everything has to be reductionist, and if you're not in my camp and you're not in with my positions, right, then you're obviously a terrible person, and you get called all these expletives, and yeah, you just cast aside. So what was the point, essentially? So at the end of the day, it's like, what's the point? You're not actually changing anybody's mind. No one's looking to have their mind changed. No one's looking for nuance. Everyone's just looking for, you know, what the next shock value tagline, and I didn't give enough of those in my last reaction, so unfortunately that reaction didn't sit well. But I'm happy to revisit this. Happy to revisit this again, since now you have put it as an HOH. That's perfectly fine. I love Dave, man. I think he's a fucking fantastic artist. I've always said this guy is absolutely unbelievably talented. I think he's absolutely fantastic, right? And I like all of his music. The fact that I have opinions on his more political stuff just means I have opinions on his more political stuff, you know what I mean? But let's try not do that here, and actually let's just listen to it for what it is. Let's rock and roll. Let's see what we got. Dave Black live at the Brits. Let's go.
Look, black is beautiful, black is excellent. Black is pain, black is joy, black is evident. Working twice as hard as the people you know you're better than, because you need to do double what they do so you can level them. Black is so much deeper than just African American. Our heritage been severed, you never got to experiment with family trees, because they teach you about famine and greed, show you pictures.
I like the play on the family trees, where you can't go back onto the family trees, because if you go back on the family trees and you say, okay, I came from here, it's all just pain. So our roots are pain is basically what he's trying to say there. I like that.
You out famine and greed, show you pictures of our family on their knees, tell us we used to be barbaric, we had actual queens. Black is watching.
Everybody used to be barbaric. The further back you go, every single culture, every race, every ethnicity, it was barbaric. It was not just black people, it was not just white people.
Actual queens. Black is watching child soldiers getting killed by the children, feeling sick so.
There are still black child soldiers today that are being run by black warlords and black leaders.
Children feeling sick so quick, this could have happened to me. Mommy watching, telling stories about your dad and your niece. Listen, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Kid dies, the blacker the killer, the sweeter the news. And if he's white, you give him.
See, I like that. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, right? I like that, because that actually gives that actually motivates black children. That actually motivates. It's like it's actually giving you the identity, saying there's something beautiful. There's something beautiful in being black. Do you know what I mean? It's the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. 100%. I like that. It's a great little analogy, a great little metaphor over there. I like that, or analogy essentially.
The sweeter the news, and if he's white, you give him a chance. He's ill and confused. If he's black, he's probably armed. You see him and shoot. Look, black is growing up around.
It's a bit reductionist, because you know, in a lot of the inner cities where crime runs rampant and is rife, and there are murders every single weekend, right? Yes, those are violent communities, and those are violent black communities. At the end of the day, as I'm saying, it's reductionist. At the end of the day, you know, there's more to that talking point. But okay, I get it. I get the shock value item here.
Black is growing up around the barbershop. Mommy says stay away from trouble. You're in yard a lot, studying for ages, appreciating the chance you got, because black is in your blood and you ain't even got the heart to stop. Black is stepping in for your brothers because your father's gone, standing by your children when you haven't proven karma.
See, the father's gone is actually very important. I actually think that the nuclear family, the nuclear family structure is very important to actually push onto those kind of communities as well, onto black communities, in terms of the father is unbelievably important for the household, right? Specifically for boys, so that they don't stray off into these gang life and they don't stray off into this kind of thing. And the problem is that this kind of shit is being perpetrated through the music. It's being seen as cool as well. Not all the music, obviously, because Dave doesn't make that kind of music. I'm talking about the prevailing music, the prevailing narrative in the mainstream rap industry today, right? And the stuff that actually gets hits, the stuff that the children are listening to is not conscious rap. It's all the fucking sort of bluster, that shit that it's like, oh, I'm better than you, I got money, I got guns, I got bitches, all that hedonistic fucking garbage that is being pervaded in all of music that's, you know, in those communities that are listening to, and they're seen as cool, and they need a strong father figure that actually puts them in check, puts them in line, and says that, you know, that it shows them morals and virtues and ensures that they don't stray off into that lifestyle. So that's very important. Do you know what I mean?
You haven't proven karma wrong. Black is doing all of the above, then going corner shop, trying to help a lady cross the road to have her walking off. Black is growing up around your family and making it.
Does that? I mean, that sounds like just that's all white. That's all white people do that, right? White people are just so terrible. They just do that. You'll help a lady and you'll walk off. It's like, oh no, it's just all white ladies and all, like, you know. Again, this is what happens when you try and pump an entire sort of thing of ideological concept into 4 minutes. Is it comes across as reductionist. That was my issue initially from the song.
Black is growing up around your family and making it, being forced to leave the place you love because there's hate in it. People say you're faking it, never stay for changing it, but black is being jealous, you'd be dead if you had stayed in it. Black is struggling to find your history and tracing it. You don't know the truth about your race because they're erasing it. Black has got a really sour flavor, here's a taste.
Are they erasing it? Are they erasing black history? Are they erasing what happened in the past? I don't know. I mean, I think that's probably one of the most talked about things for the past, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 decades. The most talked about things is how heinous all of that shit was, and how we should never return to that, and how we should progress past that, to, you know, to sort of come across as nothing has progressed. Nothing. It's still the same today, you know, while sitting in a venue with thousands of people adulating you. I don't know how that comes across at the end of the day. Like, we haven't progressed, nothing. We haven't made any strides forward. We're still all backwards. I'm not entirely sure that that's correct.
They're erasing it. Black has got a really sour flavor, here's a taste of it, but black is all I know. There ain't a thing that I would change in it. Look, black isn't a single colour, man, there's shades to it. Her hair's straight and thick, but mine's got waves in it. Black is not divisive, they've been lying and I'm hating it. Black has never been a competition, we're all making it. Black is deadly. No, black isn't divisive. I don't think black isn't divisive if it isn't tried to be divisive. I mean, white people can be divisive, black people can be divisive, Indian people can be divisive. It's human culture, human nature. Right? Human nature is you get bad people, you get good people, unfortunately. Do you know what I mean? It's not, you know, you can't paint everybody with the same brush. You can't paint black people with the same brush as much as you can't paint all white people with the same brush, as much as you can't paint all Indian people with the same brush. Right? And that'll be a talking point that people is like, oh yeah, that's what white people say and whatever else. No, it's true. It's 100% true. You can't paint everybody with the same brush. That's part of progress. It's part of progressing. It's part of being progressive. It's part of moving forward, right? Because if you think we're gonna solve hatred in the past with hatred today, right? You think you're gonna solve divisions in the past with creating divisions today, it's just gonna be a cycle. It's gonna continue, right? It doesn't solve anything. But anyway, I just feel like a lot of the times in today's world, we've got the right diagnosis, but we never have the right prescriptions for these solutions ever, right? It all comes down to everybody needs to think as a collective. Nobody needs to actually look at the nuance of the actual topic at all. It's just think of the collective, think along these lines, right? And if you have some sort of critical thinking and you step outside of that, you are labeled, even if you're black. Even if you're black,
Even if you're black, if you have some critical thinking and be like, I'm not a victim, I can fucking make my own way around, I'm strong enough, I've managed to fucking succeed, right? Then they get labeled as the blackface of white supremacy. So now, are you not being racist to your own kind when a black person's like, listen, I've got my own thought process, right? I'm choosing to not be part of this whole victim status that everyone's trying to push on me. No, I can do things for myself, right? But I kind of feel like the prescription today is everybody needs to think as the collective, and you need to put aside your critical thinking, right? And just accept that you're a victim. Accept that you can't do anything because the system just keeps you down. There's nothing, you can't succeed, right? You can't succeed. You need to be you're gonna be poor, much like Will Smith, and much like LeBron James, and much like Kobe Bryant, and much like all the NFL players, and much like Morgan Freeman. And much like, I don't know, all of the NBA players, all the NFL players, all the comedians, you can't make it, man. You just can't make it. I don't see how that helps children. I don't see how that helps young black children get out of those shackles. I just don't see it. If the ideology is to say that even though you're not in shackles, you're still in shackles in your brain, like, you got to think the same way. Where's the diversity in that, right? Where's the diversity in terms of like, it's like there mustn't be a diversity of thought. If there's no diversity of thought, there's no diversity, essentially. So anyway, carry on.
Black is not divisive, they've been lying and I'm hating it. Black has never been a competition, we're all making it. Black is deadly. Black is when you're freezing in your home and you can't get sleep but never feeling empty because you got 20 cousins in your country living stress-free, walking for their water daughter wrapped inside a bed sheet. Black is distant, it's representing countries that never even existed while your grandmother was living. Black is my Ghanaian brother reading into scriptures, doing research on his lineage, finding out that he's Egyptian. Black is people naming your countries and what they trade most, Coast of Ivory, Gold Coast, and the Grain Coast.
Yeah, when you're actually speaking about all of the injustices of the past, 100%. So, I mean, all that he's saying over here is correct. Like, when you speak of the injustices in the past, 100%, right? But to sort of allude to the fact that there's been no progression since then, right? It's all, we're still in the same position. I don't think that's correct. I don't think that helps anyone.
Coast of Ivory, Gold Coast, and the Grain Coast, but most importantly, to show how deep all of this pain goes. West Africa, Benin, they call it Slave Coast. Black is so confusing, cause the culture, they're in love with it. Take off features when they...
Yeah, in Africa, there's still slavery today in Africa. Yes, there is, by African leaders and by African warlords. There is still slavery in Africa, and it's not being perpetrated by white people. All right? There are leaders today in African countries that are billionaires in offshore accounts in Europe. Billionaires, right? They aren't rectifying anything for their own people. They're actually raping the country of its resources, selling it off to the highest bidder, and literally making them and their families wealthy out in Europe and putting their money. They're not even putting their money in their own country. They're not even saving that. They're not putting their money in bank accounts in their own country because the country is firstly volatile. Secondly, the currency is worth fuck all. And thirdly, the moment it's easy to access their money there. So what they do is they actually take the money, right? And they go and put them in imperialists' bank accounts in Europe, right? Where it's safe, where it can't be touched. Do you know what I mean? And they rape the country of all its resources. They rape the country of everything that the people need, right? They're not furthering anything for their own people, right? They're making themselves wealthy. Today, right now, that's happening right now. You know what I mean? But we don't need to talk about that. That's fine.
Black is so confusing, cause the culture, they're in love with it. Take off features when they want and have their fun with it. Never seem to help with all the things you know will come with it. Their fun with it. Never seem to help. Confusing, cause the culture, they're in love with it. Take off features when they want and have their fun. How deep all of this pain goes. West Africa, Benin, they call it Slave Coast. Black is so confusing, cause the culture, they're in love with it. Take off features when they want and have their fun with it. Never seem to help.
Take your features and run. Are we talking about like appropriation over here? I mean, we're gonna play the appropriation game. Then, should no one appropriate anybody? Like, should nobody do anything? So, I've heard this argument that Eminem's a guest in hip hop. Eminem's, he shouldn't be in hip hop. This is our culture. Is that what we should do? Should black people not play basketball because it was invented by a white man? Should Tiger Woods not play golf because it was invented by a white man? It's like, is that what we're doing? Is that how the world needs to be now? Right? Is that a world like an Italian person can only cook Italian food, and anybody that cooks outside of that, or you know what I mean? It's like cultures are beautiful, and sharing cultures and doing things in that way is beautiful at the end of the day. And if we're going to start nitpicking and be like, okay, so then, let's play this game on all sides. Let's be like, okay, then nobody can appropriate anybody at the end of the day. Okay, so I mean, should we do that? Should we? I just don't. Does that help anybody? I'm still looking for a part in the song that furthers a young black kid's mindset, strengthens it, and outside of them feeling like they're victims and they can't do anything because everything just suppresses them and subjugates them. Where's the strength that it places in a black person's mind? Do you know what I mean? Like, where's the strength in a child? Like, if a child had to listen to this, what can the child take out of this? What can a black child take out of this and be like, I'm fucking powerful. I'm powerful. Do you know what I mean? I can think for myself. The system can't keep me down. I'm stronger than fucking the system. If I want it, I'm gonna go get it. I don't need anyone to put anything at my feet. I can go and get it for myself. Do you know what I mean? What part of the song says this to black children? That's basically what I'm looking for in this particular song. But carry on.
The culture, they're in love with it. Take our features when they want and have their fun with it. Never seem to help with all the things we know will come with it. Loud in our laughter, silent in our suffering. Black is being strong inside the face of defeat. Poverty made me a beast. I battled the law in the streets. We all struggle, but your struggle ain't a struggle like me. Well, how could it be when your people gave us the odds that we beat? I mean, bloody hell.
You're not struggling like me? I mean, Dave's struggling. I mean, you can see Dave's struggling. LeBron James is struggling. Kobe's struggling. Morgan Freeman, well, Kobe, may he rest in peace, he's a legend. But just this idea of, again I say, how does a child listen to this and say that I can beat any of it? Like, how does a child listen? How does this strengthen a black child's mentality and not make them feel like victims that cannot do anything outside of people owing them something? What does that do? How does a child think? How does a black child feel that they are stronger when they have their idol, who's a multi-millionaire, saying that even he is a victim? I just don't. How does that help a child's? How does it help a child's mentality? I don't know.
Made me a beast. I battled the law in the streets. We all struggle, but your struggle ain't a struggle like me. Well, how could it be when your people gave us the odds that we beat? I mean, bloody hell. What about our brothers that are stuck in jail that couldn't bust the bell? They held a burden, gotta live with it. Black is being guilty until proven that you're innocent. Black is saying free all of my people stuck inside them prison cells. Think it's funny we ain't got nothing to say to them. Unconditional love is strange to them, it's amazing. Black has really got the sweetest flavor, here's a taste of it. But black is all I know, there ain't a thing that I would change with it. It is racist, whether or not it feels racist. The truth is, our prime ministers are real racist. They say, you should be grateful we're the least racist. I say the least racist is still racist.
Yeah, everything's racist, always. Again, I'm going to return to, how does this help a black child who's listening to this? How does it help a black child that's listening to this? That it says everything is racist. Absolutely everything. If you can't succeed, it's because of racism. But if you succeed... Put it this way. This is the mentality that we're giving these children. If you fail, it's the system's fault. If you succeed, the system had nothing to do with it. If you become a Will Smith, system had nothing to do with it. But if you fail, it's all the system's fault. All of the system's fault. You don't take accountability or responsibility for any of your actions. If you succeed, it's all on you. If you fail, it's all on the system. It's not on you. It's not on you. It's all on the system. Does that help kids? Does that help kids? And when we talk about the racism thing, if we empty words out of all of their meanings and we just say, okay, everything's racist, even the least racist is still racist. I agree. Racism is racism, right? But if there's no sort of like definitive line that we draw over here with regards to outright racism, do you know what I mean? And we say, oh, everything is racist. If I say something to a black person that he doesn't like, it's because I'm racist. If I have a viewpoint on one of your positions, oh, it's just because you're racist. You don't see that kind of thing. You're emptying the word out of all its meanings. And you know what you're doing? You're creating a culture of where real racists, right, fly under the radar because you've deemed everything racist, because nothing means anything anymore. Nothing means anything anymore. We've completely made all these words vacuous. No, there's no definitions to this anymore, right? So I don't see how, again, I'm going to keep bringing it back to this. I don't see how that mentality furthers a black child who's struggling in the inner cities. How does it further his plight? How does it further his plight? Or not further his plight, but how does it remedy his plight?
Least racist is still racist, and if somebody hasn't said it, equality's a right, it doesn't deserve credit. Now if you don't want to get it, then you're never gonna get how the news treats Kate versus how they treated Meghan. Rest in peace, Jack Merritt.
Meghan Markle. Yeah, she made the lateral move from Hollywood actress to literal princess. And she's a victim too, I guess. I mean, I also think the media's got a lot to play over here. But to act as if Meghan Markle is just this sweet, saintly person that didn't have anything manipulative to add here, you know what I mean? It's just, she's tip top. You know what I mean? That they literally, it's not like, okay, this and the thing, and then they literally, all we want is our privacy. And then they went and literally put themselves in the public eye again and again and again and tried to tear down whatever they could tear down. And they wrote books and they threw the fucking family under the bus. And don't talk to me about, let's not get into the royal family. I'm not a fan of the royal family myself. But, right, to act as if she didn't play victim, right, is also quite something. Do you know what I mean? And the crazy thing is, like, we live in a world today, right, where we know, like, it's like, I know it's bullshit. You know it's bullshit. You know that I know that it's bullshit. You know that I know that you know that it's bullshit, but still we play the bullshit game. Do you know what I mean? Because truth doesn't matter, and you know what I mean? It's all subjective. It's my truth, not the truth. So, I mean, when we start playing in that, where reality and irrationality doesn't even play in our society anymore, then what's the point? You know what I mean? What's the point? You're not going to convince anybody of anything because nobody is willing to come to the fucking middle. So what's the point? You can make 100 of these songs, right? You're not solving anything. You're not going to solve absolutely anything.
News treats Kate versus how they treated Meghan. Rest in peace, Jack Merritt. You're my brother in arms. There's tears in our eyes and love in our hearts. We never had the same background, culture, color or past, but you devoted your life to giving others a chance. And for that, I'm so taken aback, because he gave us all a voice. I have to say it for Jack. As a young black man that's seen paper and crack, giving tougher sentences, it's just paper and cracks. All he would want is unity, funding for communities, equal opportunities, people under scrutiny, no more immunity, way less hatred, more conservation, less deforestation. We won't...
Yes, I agree with all of what he's saying over here. Way less hatred, 100%. But do you see way less hatred today? Do you see way less hatred with all of this awakening, so-called awakening, with all of this awareness, with all these kind of songs? Is there less or more hatred today? You know, when we start drawing lines where it's like black people are all oppressed, white people are all oppressors, right? Is that not adding? Is that not adding to hatred? Is that not adding to the problem? I don't know.
More conservation, less deforestation, we want rehabilitation. Now that would be amazing. But Grenfell victims still need accommodation. And we still need support for the Windrush generation. Reparations for the time our people spent on plantations. I'm tough.
Cool, I'm for reparations. There are a lot of people who won't agree with me, but I'm for reparations. But I'm for reparations under a certain condition, and it's a condition that will probably not be accepted. Yes, absolutely. If you think about all of the fucking money that all of these administrations spend, this bullshit money, trillions of dollars that they spend on weaponry and they spend on war like they did in Afghanistan and shit like that. We're talking about trillions of dollars that have gone into fucking nothing, that have gone into fucking equipment that added no value to anybody's fucking life, right? It only benefited a couple of the elites in the defense industry complex, right? In the military complex, right? Yeah, so you know what? If we're gonna put money into that kind of fucking garbage, you know what? Let's put that money. Let's just go, since now we're writing checks willy-nilly like it's fucking nothing, like money's water, right? Let's write $10 trillion. $10 trillion and we put it towards reparations. Okay, and we say, okay, we're going to do reparations. There's two things that we need to look into over here with regards to reparations. Firstly, who gets it? Who gets it and how do they get it and how do you track their lineage down and who gets more than the next guy, right? Does Dave get less than the guy in the hood who's not making it, right? And is Dave happy to get less than the guy in the hood? So the guy in the hood that's got absolutely nothing, can we give him $10 million or $20 million and can we give Dave 5? Say, no, you've got to get less than him because you're wealthier than him. Is that going to be accepted by everybody? I don't know. We can look into that. Let's say that that's virtually impossible equation to solve is solved, right? And we say, okay, well, we know exactly who gets it. What happens if there's black people whose descendants are descendants of slave owners, much like that lady from I don't know if it was Joy Reid is from MSNBC. That lady from The View who was shocked to find out that her lineage goes back to slave owners. Does she not get, even though she's a black lady, she's a black woman, right? Does she not get reparations? I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to find that out. But then let's say we solve all of that and we say, okay, we give you the money. And we come to the price that you agree on, 20 million, 30 million, 40 million per person, right? And we say 40 million per person, there we go, here's your reparation. That's more money than most people will ever see. The majority of people in the world will ever see. It's more money than the majority of people will ever see, right? They will completely, significantly, completely change your life, right? For the better. You can set up your future, your family's future, your family's future. You invest that fucking money and you are set up. And your family's set up and whatever else. Perfect. So we give you the money, right? Can we then say, once that's done, that you sign a contract that says, I'll never bring up this again, that I'm a victim. Not slavery, not history, like not the fact that atrocious things happen. History's history. We can't erase history. History needs to be there to fucking remind us that like hideous things happened in the past that we must never do again, right? So history is history. I'm saying you personally, once you get this money, you sign a contract to say that you're not a victim anymore. You're not a victim anymore. Here's the money. This radically changes your life and it's done. If this money finishes, do you come back and say, oh no, do you play that oppression card again? Because the problem in today's world is victimhood is becoming a currency. And it's not to say what the problem is that it's diluting real victimhood. It's diluting the real victims in the world that really have nothing. It's diluting it. And I see a lot of victimhood from a lot of prominent people that are actually quite wealthy and have done well for themselves and live in pretty rich countries as opposed to poorer countries, right? That are saying this all of the time. Right? Let's say that they're doing it they're not doing it for themselves. They're doing it for the betterment of the community, right? They're Martin Luther Kings. They're all modern day Martin Luther Kings, right? They literally they are sacrificing of themselves to go and help their communities, right? So let's say that they're all doing that. Okay? So I'm saying, is that fair? Is that fair? Can we do that? Can we say, okay, can the government come to you? Not the government ever will, because those fucking guys only personally benefit themselves. But can the government come and say to the black people, saying, here, reparations money, 20, 30 million, bang, radically changes your life, right? Here's a contract. You can no longer speak of you being a victim anymore, because you're not. You're not a victim anymore. Here's the cash. You're not a victim anymore, right? That's it. So I don't want to hear that you're a victim. I don't want to hear that, you know, that's you and this. No, we're going to give everybody. We're going to give everybody their fair share and done. No more victim. No more talk of how the system's doing them in today. Is that feasible? If we can do that, I'm for reparations. All for reparations. To say, okay, cool. Now that's done. Let's move forward as a society and stop hating each other. You got your fair due, right? That you deemed was your fair due, right? Can we hate each other and move forward? Then absolutely. Governments spend trillions of dollars on bullshit, man. Absolute fucking rubbish. Absolute fucking rubbish. I don't see a song. I don't see a song from any of these people like Dave that actually goes into the crux of how governments, whether it be liberal or conservative, do absolutely nothing for the communities. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You know what I mean, they target their ire into a broad group of people. It's all white people, right? But they never target their ire to a government, to a saying, you fuckers have done fucking nothing for fucking years. Don't tell me you progressive. Don't tell me that you for the fucking people. Don't talk to me about fucking diversity and inclusion when you do fuck all for our communities. No, because we like the taglines. Because it's cool. Because it adds shock value. Do you know what I mean? But we never target at the right people that are doing absolutely nothing for us. Like Barack Obama. What infrastructure did Barack Obama build in the inner cities? Right? What infrastructure did he build there? What education systems did he build there? What did he do for black people in the United States? He was seen as the black savior. What did he do in the United? What did any administration do? Never mind fucking Barack Obama. None of the administrations did fuck all for black people. But what did Barack Obama do outside of droning other countries like every other fucking administration did? Right? What did Barack Obama do? How did Barack Obama step out of the system? The man who had all of the power. How did he give the bird to the system and say, fuck you all, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a backbone. I'm not going to follow the agenda. I'm not going to take corporate money. I'm not going to take defense industry money. I'm not going to... Barack Obama went into power being worth about $700,000. He came out of power being worth millions. Millions. Today, people just go into power to become millionaires. They're not doing anything for the people. Where are the songs? Where's the song about that? Where's the song about that? As opposed to just brushing entire people, entire communities with the same brush. Do you know what I mean? To create the divisions at the lower levels. Because, what? We're too afraid to punch up now? Anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.